Aloha and welcome back to the Sin Crew Radio Show, V93FM.com. Kamaka Brown here with Paula Leah Hernandez.
Aloha.
Melissa Maholapapa wearing her Aloha Happen shirt today.
I am. Oh. Aloha happens a lot in this room.
It does. Guest in the studio, Catherine Bucknight, producer, director of Hawaii, A Voice for Sovereignty.
Aloha.
Oh, welcome. Uncle Clinton here, our call wrangler.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about food in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry. Let's hurry up.
Uncle Dan from theexaminer.com. And on the phone, an author, and she's just a sweet, lovely person living here in Southern California. Linda Ballou, welcome.
Hi, Kamaka. Aloha.
Welcome. So, you have now... the beginning of a 30-year love affair with the islands and the people of old, and you have a historical fiction fantasy novel, Wainani, a voice from old Hawaii. Tell us about that book and how it came about, Linda.
Okay, well, in 1978, I was living on the North Shore of Kauai, and for one blissful year, I didn't work. It was a wonderful year. And it happened to be the bicentennial year of the landing of Captain James Cook in the islands. So I took a little job at the Garden Isle, and I got involved with writing articles and studying the history of the island. And in the process, I decided that the Hawaiians had gotten a bum rep. I felt, especially in the chapter of Captain Cook, that it was justifiable homicide. Yes, the Hawaiians did kill the captain, but there were a lot of good reasons. And I took it upon myself to write the story from the Hawaiian point of view. And believe you me, I had no idea what a challenge this was going to be. It did take me many, many years going back and forth to the islands, going to all the sacred sites I could get to, and interviewing kumus and elders, reading all the oldest chronicles, and trying very hard to be true to the culture. So one of the things I learned was that Kamehameha was there at that time, when Cook landed there on the Big Island when he went to Kealakekua Bay. At any rate, I found this all fascinating, that he was there. And his story, then I got into his story and the prophecy that, a warrior would be born under a fiery rooster in the sky, and he would unite the Hawaiian Islands. And it seemed of biblical proportions to me, and in fact it did happen, and he was spirited away like Moses was hidden from the rulers so he wouldn't be killed. I mean, I just found the story so fascinating, and I don't think that Western people know the story. And what I tried to do was pull it all together. But, it's fabled history, it's an oral tradition, so I took some dramatic liberties to pull it all together, for Western readers and for myself.
Okay, so, the protagonist in the story, Wainani, or Beautiful Waters, is a half-human, half-fish without the benefit of a mermaid's tail.
Right.
And it's kind of...
okay, so when I was living on the North Shore, Kamaka, I met a woman named Bobo, and she would swim the Nepali coast with regularity. And she would tell me about swimming with dolphins and, her experiences in the ocean. And Kahumanu, who was the favorite wife of Kamehameha the Great that inspired Wainani, the character Wainani, it was said that she could swim like 18 miles a day, which I thought, if you're in the ocean that much, you're going to make friends with sea creatures. And that, dolphins have been friends with human beings since the Greeks, rescuing people who've been drowning. And all through history, human beings have had relationships with dolphins, which are very intelligent creatures. And so I didn't think it was, really a far stretch for her, a water baby, to have friends in the ocean. So she has a relationship in this story with the dolphin family throughout the tale.
I see. So you have done extensive research on the history of the characters and Hawaii, and you give a narrative on some of Hawaii folklore, a journey into the ancient past, recreating island life that might have been. And, I'm looking at some of the reviews for your book, and, I have a copy, and I've just started. I haven't finished it, but it is quite interesting in terms of the character Wainani, how she is based on Ka'ahumanu, as you've said, the favorite wife of Kamehameha, and how she goes through her experiences and through her eyes are able to relate what was going on with Kamehameha, with with the chiefs, with the villagers, with that whole feeling and that whole spirit of Hawaii of ancient days. It's quite a journey back into the past.
Well, it's been a beautiful obsession for me. I saw Kahumanu as the embodiment of female empowerment because she was a very strong character, and I felt she'd been overlooked in history. She was a childless bride, and yet she was his favorite over 40 years. Their love affair spanned 40 years, and I just thought that was a beautiful story. And I felt that, Westerners don't know who these people are, and I know they don't. In fact, when I go to a Polynesian event, and I'm like when I met you at Slack Key Fest, I ask people, do you know who Kahumanu is? Oh, no. Favorite wife of Kamehameha. They know who Kamehameha is, but they don't know who she is. And she was really important in the Hawaii story. I found out that she wasn't loved by everyone, however. When I went to the Bishop Museum, the docent, I asked him about her. I said, why didn't you say anything about her in your talk? And he literally turned his back and walked away from me.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because I learned that she was the flaw that brought down the chiefdom. And not everyone loves her. I saw her as the loving mother of the people, but she's very controversial, I discovered once I really got deeply into the story. So I went to her picture was in the back wall in the museum, and I went and I looked at her picture and stared at it for about 20 minutes, asking her, do you want me to tell your story? Am I qualified? And I just did the best I could.
Well, the result is a beautiful novel, and we'd like to have our listeners get a copy of Wainani, Voice from Old Hawaii. You can pick up a copy on Amazon.com. You can either Google it or on Amazon, just put Wainani, Wainani. It's a Voice from Old Hawaii. Or Linda Ballou, Ballou, and you can find her book. And one of the things that I thought was just really beautiful, because the first couple of pages you interject real Hawaiian words into sentences, and you don't really get the meaning but you get the rhythm, and then you get the meaning once you read it in context. And it's really an excellent read. If you've been to Hawaii or you plan to go to Hawaii, this would be a must-read, I think, for folks that have any interest at all in the history of Hawaii. It is Wainani, A Voice from Old Hawaii, by artist and writer Linda Ballou. So thanks so much for calling in today and telling us about Wainani, and we do hope that our listeners will pick up a copy.
Well, thank you, Kamaka. I just want to say that if they buy the book on my site, lindaballouauthor.com, I pay for the shipping, and I give you Wainani's Wayfinder, which is a map that I created of sacred sites on the Big Island. So, Thank you so much for this opportunity to share my work.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you so much. Have a great day. And we're going to take our listeners back to some great contemporary Hawaiian
Mahalo.
music. Aloha, Linda. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.